I was a delegate for President Obama in both of his elections in Ohio. Right now, the vice president is down 11 points in Ohio, even though I fully expect President Trump to take Ohio, as he did twice. But to be down 11 points compared to President Biden, that is a problem. But this other issue I want to bring up is a problem, too. Why are black men being lectured to? Why are black men being belittled in ways that no other voting group? Now, a lot of love for former President Obama, but for him to single out black men is wrong. And some of the black men that I have talked to have their reasons why they want to vote a different way. And even if some of us may not like that, we have to respect it. So unless President Barack Obama is going to go out and lecture every other group of men from other identity groups, my message for Democrats is don't bring it here to black men.
The stop he made in this plea he's making to African-American men, I mean, he said today he insulted them. I mean, he, first of all, admits that they're not enthusiastic about her. He said, you just aren't feeling the idea of having a woman as president, and you're coming up with other alternatives and reasons for that. And I think one thing we've seen about Democrats over the years is that when they can't convince you to do something, they begin to insult you. Obama specifically, when he was having trouble with rural voters in Pennsylvania, go back all the way into his campaigns, he insulted them about their culture and values. I don't think it's helpful to insult a group of people who are already not enthusiastic about your campaign, but I think that's what he did today.
I knew this day would come eventually. As we see Kamala Harris spiraling down the depths to defeat, they're not going to blame white women. They're not going to blame white men. All the white dudes for Kamala, all the white women for Kamala, the black women for Kamala, the LGBTQ for Kamala, the evangelicals for Harris. They're not going to blame those folks. Do you know who they're going to blame? They're going to blame black men. Yeah, that's right. The scapegoat. The scapegoat of the Democratic Party is always black men. When it comes to them not turning out for their candidate, they did the exact same thing in Georgia when Stacey Abrams ran for governor against Brian Kemp and she lost. Do you know who they blamed? Black men. And they've dispatched their prime bullhorn, if you will, to wrangle black men back in line. Former President Obama.
Communities is that we have not yet seen the same kinds of energy and turnout in all quarters of our neighborhoods and communities as we saw when I was running. Now, I also want to say that that seems to be more pronounced with the brothers. So if you don't mind, just for a second, I'm going to speak to y'all directly and say that when you have a choice that is this clear, when on the one hand you have somebody who grew up like you, knows you, went to college with you, understands the struggles and pain and joy that comes from those experiences. Who's had to work harder and do more and overcome and achieves the second highest office in the land.
Now, did you hear what he said? Yes, the enthusiasm is less for Kamala Harris than it was for Obama, because Obama was the first time legitimately black people had a chance to vote for someone that looked like them, that was black. So obviously, you're not going to have the same level of enthusiasm with Obama. And Obama was a smooth politician. You have to give the man credit. He was a good politician. He was able to communicate. He didn't need the teleprompter to help him articulate his thoughts. He was not fake. People did not see Obama as fake. Now, Obama didn't do much for the black community, and black folks should have known that. But at the same time, you have to give the man credit for the politician that he is. And I despise all his policies, especially how he convinced a lot of black pastors to support the LGBTQ, to affirm that lifestyle, to go against the truth of God's word, to go against biblical marriage. I despise that. But nevertheless, you have to admit the man was smooth enough to get a large percentage of the black vote. He got nearly 95% of the black vote the first time he ran, about 90-some% the second time he ran. So, of course, those numbers are not going to be duplicated. But you see that he's telling you what's really going on behind the scenes. Kamala Harris has never resonated with men, especially black men. And you want to know why? It's because black men are tired of being blamed for the ills of the black community. It's always the black man's fault. Now, this channel, we encourage black men to take up the role of being the head of the household, of being the leaders in the community. So it is the responsibility of black men to shepherd the community, to lead the community, to gird up the community, to make sure the community is reflective of a civil society, to ensure that there is no degradation, there is no destruction in the black community. And black men bear responsibility for some of that, if not the majority of that, because we have allowed the government to come in and convince black women that the government knows better than black men. That it's better for the government to be a father to your children. It's better for the government to be a husband to your wife than it is for the man. We've allowed the biblical order to be destroyed. With all that being said, you have to have someone that's complicit in that. And a lot of women have been complicit in allowing the community to become what it is. And so black men, looking back at the two parties, at the two candidates, primarily who are running for president, and some black men are going to vote for third party, but a lot of black men are looking at these candidates and they see a candidate in Kamala Harris that does not resonate with them. They are not excited to vote for Kamala Harris because a lot of younger black men realize that they don't want to vote for somebody that's a communist. They don't want to vote for somebody that does not have the best interests in mind. They don't want to vote for somebody that has made a career out of prosecuting and locking up black men, has made a career out of denigrating black men, has made a career out of using black men for their own personal opportunity and advantages. So a lot of black men are smart. They're wising up. A lot of younger black men have college degrees. A lot of younger black men have their own businesses. So they don't want to vote for the Democratic Party that's constantly telling them that they are a victim. And a lot of younger black men are realizing the truth of God's word, are walking in the truth of God's word, says that they're not a victim, that they are empowered for greatness. So why would they choose to vote for a candidate that is pushing that stuff? And secondly, a number of black men see through the facade. They know that Kamala Harris is not a real candidate. Have you seen her interviews over the past week or two? They are pathetic. They are pathetic. It shows you that this person has no depth. This person is just an empty suit that's being used by the white liberal puppet masters to push this Marxist communist agenda in America, and in particular the black community. And they've also seen that triumvirate that I talk about, the black pastor, the black organizations, the entertainers, the athletes, the media, and the politicians. They see those things in academia. They see those things. They've seen the harm and the detrimental effects that has brought to the black community. And they've been aware of the last 60 years how the black community has voted democratically lockstep and nothing has changed in the community. As a matter of fact, communities that are run primarily by Democrats have failed. That social experiment that the Democrats have put on the black community in some of these urban areas has failed. So they see that. They see all those things. They see that they were better off economically when former President Trump was in office. They see that the Democratic Party does nothing but emasculate them. They see that the Democratic Party is a part of the LGBTQ. They see that the Democratic Party wants to transgender their children. They see that the Democratic Party wants to mutilate their children. They see that the Democratic Party is all about the destruction of the black community because they push this abortion agenda in the community. So that's why Obama, people don't want to vote for Kamala Harris. That's why Obama, black men don't want to vote for Kamala Harris. They're tired of being lectured to. They're tired of being told, get in line. Get in line behind the black woman. They're tired of that, and they're not going to vote for that stuff anymore, especially those of my generation and younger. They're tired of that stuff. They've seen that over and over and over again. So you better come with some real solutions and some real ideas if you want to get the black man's vote. I'm serious. Come with real solutions and real ideas. Don't insult us. Don't demean us because we choose not to vote for Kamala Harris. Miss me with that. We're not victims. We are empowered for greatness.